And we are back here for the last day of AR. We have come across an almost infantry pulse team. It sort of is, but it's not quite all the way there yet. First we have a legendary Azura, who's running pretty standard Azura stuff. Next we have a +10 Bowie with his preference tome, opting to run for the Res Refine instead of the close counter Refine. But he's running close counter anyway, so I guess this guy just didn't want to waste his investment of close counter, and is deciding to go with a Res Refine on the tome anyway. I guess. I mean, it kind of, you know, it's not bad. Also running Dagger Breaker with close defense. This unit pretty much exists entirely to screw over Vantage Dagger units. That's pretty much his purpose, and he's honestly pretty good at it with the Raven Tome effect from his weapon plus Dagger Breaker. It's going to be really hard to kill this dude with a Vantage Dagger unit. Next, he's also giving the Infantry Pulse to Sonya, who is not merged at +4, plus speed. She gets instant Glacies because of the combination of her weapon and Quicken Pulse, also running Res Ploy and a Rally. Next, we have a +10, +5 May with Hardy Bearing, 1 turn cooldown Glimmer, and Lance Breaker with Speed Ploy. I've said before that I think May is a really underrated unit, basically a blue Lilina, but this isn't really how I would do it. First of all, her special refine on her weapon is not really doing anything for you on a defense team. I guess with drawback, maybe, but even then, it's just not going to be consistent. She'd much rather have the extra 2 speed if you're investing in her speed. Otherwise, just go with attack or even defense or res if that's really what you want to do. Another pulse on the team somewhere would probably have been good as well. Alm could easily be carrying one, and then she'd have instant Glimmer, but unfortunately that's not the case. 1 turn cooldown Glimmer. And Lance Breaker is really like the standout odd choice. I've got no idea what Lance units this dude is struggling against. I haven't seen a Lance unit in AR offense in ages. But I guess if you're running Donald as a tank, then watch out. I don't know. Next we have a +6, +1 legendary Alm, running basically base kit with attack speed +2 and reposition. And then finally we have a +2 Duma with, again, pretty much base kit and armored boots, which is actually fairly annoying. He does have upheaval and he'll be getting my cavalry skill, but who the hell cares? No cabs in this team anyway. So we are going to have to wait a turn to heal off the Duma damage. I don't really want to spend, I don't really want to tank rather with the Duma damage in my face. But after that, honestly, I can literally just throw Lorenz into this tile with Corrin support and just win. Sonya may or may not attack me. I'd imagine because she has a special ready, she will just straight up attack me. I think that they do care about special damage, but if they don't care about special damage, then she's probably just going to rally for Alm or Bowie and they get danced, which is fine. That's probably optimal actually, if that is how it works. Otherwise she's just going to attack me and not do all that much damage. Alm actually gets doubled and dies because Lorenz is amazing, so we don't have to worry about him. Bowie is Bowie, lol. I don't think I need to explain that we kill Bowie. And from there, May is kind of a problem. I have tested my Lorenz build on my friends' defense teams before, and I did come across a May once that was actually really hard to deal with, but I think I'm almost certain I can stand, you know, 1 round of combat with her, if it comes to that, and then I have other units on the team ready to take her out and take her on. So that is the plan, and then Duma of course is not really a threat in any capacity. He's just in the corner. I'll get to him eventually. Anyway, so the first turn we are just going to spend our time in the healing towers range, healing up. And unfortunately I think I'm getting Dark Shrined. Yeah, it looks like a Dark Shrine. And there's nothing I can do about that. His Dark Shrine is pretty upgraded, so hopefully that doesn't come to bite me in the butt, but I don't think it will. I'd imagine that Bowie and Sonya are going to do negligible damage. Alm does a good bit, but not that much. I do have low attack speed, and I am getting the defense buff here, so there we go. We're going to just shove up. We've got Corrin support right here. I could move Corrin to this tile, but in case May gets, like, in case May gets danced and something funky happens, I don't want Corrin in range of anything that can potentially hurt him. we are just going to end turn with Lorenz and hope that everything goes well. It looks like, at least to me, from the small amount of planning that I did, that things should go pretty well, at least on this turn. So let's go ahead and end turn. Just going to make sure my animations are on. They weren't. It's good that I checked. And let's go. So it'll be interesting to see if the rally comes, or if she just goes. Yeah, she is going to rally, so it looks like they don't care about special damage, and they only care about the actual displayed damage, which is why she did that, even though she definitely could do 5 damage with the Glacies. But I don't care, because that eats the dance, and Alm and Bowie are still going to come and die. Oh, I was waiting for the quote, that's why I went quiet. Anyway, we're going to finish that turn at full health. May is here now. She did not draw back the Azura, which is good. We can actually go ahead and kill the May as well, which is fantastic. The Bolt Tower lined up on the perfect turn. No one has Wings of Mercy or any shenanigans like that, so we can easily go ahead and kill the Azura and the May. Now, one thing I'm wondering about, you know, we can actually avoid that. So we're going to kill May first, and then we're going to kill Azura. And the reason for that is because I can't remember if the healing tower takes place before the check for boots, because if the healing tower goes off and then he's at full health, actually, you know what? He can't be at full health regardless. That was stupid of me. Actually, no, yeah, no. The plus 35, he'll be at full health. Plus 35, minus 35. That's how it works. Yeah. So I don't know if the healing check comes first, so the healing goes off and then it checks if he's at full health, or if it checks if he's at full health and then the healing goes off. I don't know. And just to make sure that no accidents happen, we're going to go ahead and smite Tethys and just kill Lorenz from outside of Doomer's potential range. I don't know if that's actually going to be how it works, but just in case it is, I don't want to mess with that. Sonia's danger area is also increased right now because she's currently got the plus extra movement from a 0, so I'm actually fine to go ahead and break this. So, which we'll go ahead and do. And I guess, I mean, of course, could just, I don't know. Karin seems pretty okay where he is, I'll be completely honest. Maybe we'll move him up. No reason not to, I guess. So it looks like Sonia's going to rally for Duma. This is still not a problem. I'm pretty sure we can, yeah, we can just kill Duma. Just fine. Not a problem there. Please get the quote. Please laugh. I beg you.
You're barely treading water.
Lorenz, please. I've got one quote that's my absolute favorite, and he hasn't said it yet.
I'll think about
Makes me very sad. Anyway, we can go ahead and get one pot here. We could, in theory, just go ahead and kill what's her face, Sonia, like right now. It's probably optimal to do so. In fact, I think I will, because this is the second last match of the week. I only need one pot to succeed. But you know what? We're gonna do it the proper way, and we're going to go ahead and get both pots, just to show this guy that we could have if we wanted to. Now, if this is, I wonder if I get that kill while next to somebody.
I always make a splash.
I always make a splash.
It will be done.
Oh well, we're gonna go ahead and do this.
Shall we dive in?
We still get the kill, so if this is the real grav trap, then all we need to do is push Tethys up, and then she can dance, and we get the kill anyway. So that was not the real one. We're gonna take more damage because we're not activating our solos, but it's not enough. Because Lorenz is a champ, and we're going to end off that match. Alright, one more match left in the week. So, as far as rematches go for today, I do have a few that I could take on, but none of them looked like especially interesting. I don't like fighting beast units, but it's, you know, it's something I've done before, of course. I'm thinking I'll take on this guy. He's got a minus attack Thracia, but that could be a bait, you never know. And he's the only one who's made me lose any lift this week, so I want revenge on him. So we're going to take a quick break right here, and I'll come back when I'm in the match with this guy, and we'll see if we can whoop his ass. So I'll be right back. Alright, we are here with the second match of the day, and as I suspected, that minus attack Thrasier was definitely a bait. This team is actually very competent and pretty scary, so we'll go over them real quick. First we have an unmerged Mirabilis at plus HP minus defense, with sabotage defense and aerobatics and ground orders. We have a plus 3 Ninian with the HP stacking set, also running distant guard and sudden panic, lightning breath with infantry pulse. We have a plus 1 Sonya with death blow, who is also got wings of mercy, hardy bearing and instant glacies. We have a Thrasier here who has rally defense. This is the one we saw, otherwise pretty much base kit. We have a plus 10, plus 5 female Byleth with Swift Sparrow 3, Flashing Blade, Gale Force, also Wings of Mercy. And we have a plus 10, plus 5 Brunya running attack speed push 4 with speed res ruse and brazen attack defense, also running an infantry pulse. So I guess this guy switches between blessings on his Brunya. I guess Brunya is probably the unit he's invested the most into, apart from Byleth maybe. So I kind of messed up with the calculations before I picked my team. Like, I was going through my calcs and I was like, okay, that looks good, I'll use this team. I went into the game and then I realized that I had done something wrong with my calcs, and I pretty much had to, on the fly, come up with an entirely new plan. So that is where we're at, and that's what we are going to do. That's not great. I'm going to have to edit that little bit out of the video right there. Thank you, Snapchat, for push notifications. Anyway, so here's what we've come up with. We're going to bait Brunya. Now, obviously this is a rally trap. You can't really see it on the first turn because ground orders hasn't gone off yet, but ground orders goes off on Thrasier, and from there, Thrasier, if you try to bait Brunya, Thrasier will rally, and then Mirabilis will come and dance for Thrasier. You know what? You know what? I did actually just realize something else. I just realized something not great about that. I think I was just about to get punked by Flower of Ease. I do think I was about to just get punked by Flower of Ease. Let me just plug that into my calcs real quick. If I am debuffed by 3 res. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Corrin is debuffed at all and he gets Sonya'd, he's dead. Which is not great. That is not great. However, I think we can play around that, so I'm just going to finish showing off the team right here. Gale Force, Byleth, and the Brunya. So, as far as Infantry Pulse goes, the Indian has the most HP, so she doesn't get any cooldown. Brunya gets a 2-turn cooldown Iceberg. Byleth gets a 2-turn cooldown Gale Force. And Thrasier gets instant Lunar, and Sonya gets instant Glacies. So the green mages get their instant specials, and everyone else is just a little bit far off of that. So the idea is that we, before I like spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes worrying about my placements and stuff, my positioning, the idea behind what we're about to try and do is that we will bait Brunya with Lorenz. Lorenz doesn't die, but he doesn't kill Brunya either. She's just got way too much res. She comes fairly close, and unfortunately she does go below half health, which means that Wings of Mercy is active on Byleth and Sonya. Thankfully not either of the dancers, but these two can teleport. This is where my original calculations messed up. I was doing my calculations under the impression that her Fimbulvetter was active, but it's actually not, because Tethys doesn't have enough res to debuff Brunya, which means Fimbulvetter will not be active, which means that in a combat with Lorenz, she will go below half health because of the damage from push 4, and that means that teleports will happen regardless of what I do. I tried to big brain something with like the attack res link on Naga, and I thought maybe if I like push Lorenz with Corrin and smite Tethys with Naga, then I can make it so Lorenz soaks the Dark Shrine, Tethys has more res for that turn, and I'll be able to get off a debuff onto Brunya. But unfortunately, I just realized this in-game now, my Lorenz and my Tethys have the exact same defensive stat total, so they are both getting hit by Dark Shrine no matter what I do, unless I only buff one and not the other. So that's really freaking unfortunate. And there's not really any way for me to... I mean, I guess I could I could snipe the Dark Shrine if it really mattered. But then I'd be wasting Bolt Tower, and my plan kind of hinges around Bolt Tower anyway, so I'm gonna finally get into what my plan is.
Shall we dive in?
Bait Bronya, Thrasir does the rally, Thrasir gets danced, she doesn't attack of course because Bronya lives and Thrasir won't. Bronya will attack my Lorenz, she will live but she'll be below half health. At that point Sonya will teleport and try to attack anyone who is in range. And Byleth will teleport and attack Lorenz. Byleth doesn't actually do much damage at all. In the calcs that I've got on, she did like it was like 5 or 6 damage-ish, so I'm not expecting too much from her. But
Of course.
Corrin, surprisingly enough, after the Flower of Ease, if it's active on him, Corrin would get absolutely one-shot by the Sonya with Glacies, which is just crazy. Because he has a lot of HP and pretty good res and weapon triangle advantage, and he would still apparently die to this Glacies, so instant specials are a problem, of course. So what this means is that we're going to have to bait from this tile. I was originally going to bait from here, but if I bait from this tile, I can have Corrin pretty safely below Lorenz and therefore outside of Sonya's Wings of Mercy range. That just means that everyone else needs to be in the proper spot. I'm wondering if I should get Altina out of here. She might be body blocking people, but if she is, I guess I can just move her into this tile here. So we need to set up, and we want to do this on turn 2. It's pretty important that we do this on turn 2, because if we waste our Bolt Tower, then all of these units are going to be exponentially more difficult to kill. The main threats, of course, are Byleth and Bronya. I don't think Lorenz cares much about the green mages. So yeah, that's what we need to do.
Consider it done.
I think first we might go ahead and do a little something like this.
Lead away.
Go ahead and we're going to break this. This is where Lorenz will go.
You have my trust.
Go up like this, and we make sure that we're still soaking the Bright Shrine. That's what we do. So yeah, unfortunately both Tethys and Lorenz get
Think about it.
Dark Shrined, which I will fix after this match. I, honest to God, did not notice that their totals were the exact same before this.
Of course.
A merge on Tethys, or even just like a flower or two, should probably fix that. But I'll see what I can do after this match is over. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll probably smite Lorenz that way. Then we will dance.
Lead away.
We will move Lorenz back here. We will push him up with Corrin. Naga will move all the way down. And Altina... No, I don't really trust Altina either to be able to handle that kind of damage from the Sonya. I mean, if Corrin dies, then Altina dies, let's be honest. So that's going to be the play, I think. And then after that goes off, it is turn 2 right now. So we actually need to do this right now, I forgot. We are doing this turn. After the Bolt Tower goes off, it should zap Byleth and Bronya down to the point where we can easily kill them with anybody, and then as long as we get out of range of everything, out of range of everything that matters, we should be good, and the dances will pretty much be irrelevant. So that is what we're going to go ahead and do. Go ahead and push Lorenz, dance,
with
move
certainty.
Lorenz back,
Make a splash.
we will shove him up, and then we will move Naga down here, and Altina here, and hopefully things go more or less the way that I planned that they would. Do I actually have to move Altina? So Bronya will attack from here probably, right? That's tile priority, which means that Naga can teleport, which means that Sonya can teleport to here, which means that actually Altina is safe. Altina is safe where she is from Sonya. So I think we're actually okay to leave Altina up to help deal with them. pretty sure, just double checking, but I'm pretty sure that's all
Consider it
good. In
done.
fact, maybe I just move here to continue the buffs. I don't know.
You
It's
have
not,
my
there's not really
trust.
much of a difference, I don't think. So yeah, I think this is okay. Cross fingers, cross fingers. I think this works out the way we want it to. So, rally, dance, Bronya attacks. She isn't going below half health?
Ah,
Oh, I wonder if that was Mirabilis. That must have been Mirabilis. So she isn't going below half health. That's actually a good thing.
All will perish.
That's actually a good thing. It means that we don't have to worry about all these Wings of Mercy shenanigans.
you're barely treading
We
water.
will go ahead and heal. Lorenz is pretty safe no matter what happens, I think. Okay, well, there we go. That's yeah.
Finally.
And guess what? If I had just moved Altina down, this wouldn't have happened.
No. But
If I just moved her back next to Naga, this wouldn't have happened. And now I think Tethys is probably dead too.
Let's have some fun.
Yep, definitely. Glacius is too strong. And yeah, Byleth was not the problem. Byleth was fine. So that definitely didn't go the way I wanted it to. It's Mirabilis that did that. Because I completely forgot that Flower of Ease inflicts
Shall we dive
-5
in?
attack.
We'll
and,
swim circles around them.
Yeah,
I
-5
always
attack
Make a splash.
on
Shall we
Lorenz,
dive in?
and that means that Bronya didn't go below half health because I had less attack than I thought I did. Ground orders also meant that Ninian got to dance when I didn't really expect her to. It would have been fine though if I just moved Altina back. Even that play could have worked if I had just moved Altina back, because that would not have given Bronya an option to move down and attack anybody, and then Sonya wouldn't have been able to Wings of Mercy and we would have been just fine. But
swim
unfortunately
circles
this
around
What is your
means
desire?
that we do have to
Shall we
surrender.
dive in?
So all that planning for absolutely nothing. It always happens. You spend half an hour thinking about a match and you lose instantly. You spend no time thinking about a match and you just win. But yeah, that was just an example of Altina being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I should have just moved her down like I originally thought I would have. Could have definitely salvaged this match if I had just done that. But alas, we do have 2 ladders left. I guess we'll have 1 ladder left after this match. So we are going to take a quick break and come back in the 3rd match of the day. And we are back here for the 3rd game of the day. And this is another rematch against the only other guy in the week to perfect my team. He did not make me lose any lift because I was already immune, but he did fight my actual defense team and didn't lose a single unit, so I decided to go after him as well. And on his team, we have an unmerged Lysithea, who is plus HP minus defense, running pretty much base kit with a rally and hardy bearing. She gets instant blazing light. Funnily enough, you probably shouldn't do this because blazing light, I don't think it interacts with Hades. I'm pretty sure if a blazing light special or like an AoE special goes off before combat, then Hades in combat +6 attack +6 attack effect. I don't think it goes off, at least according to the calculator that I use, but it's not going to come into effect here anyway. If that is true, then that's interesting, but feel free to tell me if it's not, if you've used Lysithea and have found that to not be the case. Anyway, next we have a Mirabilis with ground orders, otherwise pretty much base kit. Ground orders, aerobatics, seems to be a pretty standard set for her. Next we have a Chrome, a legendary Chrome, who is +1 with his base kit and Brazen Attack Defense 3, as well as IP to help with Lysithea. Next we have a Duma, good old Duma, actually being my friend this match. He is taking out my Bolt Tower, but his +7 damage is going to be instrumental to this takedown of this team. So he's running double Death Blow, Wings of Mercy. Next we have a Summer Byleth, who is currently a bonus, so they have a lot of extra stats. She is running Wind Sweep, Attack Speed Push, and another Ground Orders, so double Ground Orders going on here, just Ground Orders everywhere, also running Aerobatics. She's pretty ridiculously fast because of this, and also her main weapon. And her weapon ignores things like wind sweep that allow that force you to not perform a double attack. So she can actually double even though she has wind sweep. So she kind of functions as like a pseudo hardy bearing, which we have seen before. I've seen precisely one other person do that with Thrasier. They use wind sweep on their Thrasier, and I'm pretty sure that Thrasier ignores that effect, something like that. So it's pretty interesting, but only a few units can pull it off. Of course, it's very specific. And then finally we have a +2 Ninian, who's running Wings of Mercy and Infantry Pulse, pretty standard Ninian stuff. So what we're going to do to take on this particular map, as you can see, and I think I have talked about before, my Soth now has Broadleaf Dagger, which is really cool, about time.
Sure.
What we are going to do is, first of all, we have to make sure that he is outside of the range of the healing tower. We do not want him to get healed after Duma does his damage. We want him to be below 100% HP, because if he is, that means that Crom's effect on his weapon about ignoring penalties on himself doesn't come into play. And if that effect doesn't come into play, then Broadleaf will do full damage against him, which is what we want. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get much of an opportunity to use Lorenz this map. Unfortunately, it's just Crom basically. Lorenz actually does survive Lysithea with about 30 health, and he only takes like 8 damage from Byleth, so without Legendary Crom this would definitely have been a Lorenz map, but unfortunately low attack defense means that I just can't do enough damage to kill him in one round, and because purely of Tethys's Tamari, she does not do enough damage to break the 5 damage rule. So if I didn't have Tethys here, if I was running Raisin or some other dancer without debuffs, Ninian would actually do 6 damage to Lorenz, so I would have had a play, but unfortunately not to be. Anyway, the next thing we're going to do here is do some block breaking. Of course, since this is the last match of the week, I don't need to get any of the pots. I'm going to give Dragon Effectiveness to our good old friend Soth.
Consider it done.
And just move up here, I suppose. I guess we can have Lorenz here, why not? Doesn't really matter, because we're pretty much going to end this in one turn. So here's what we're going to do. We go ahead and smite up. We have enough damage to one-shot the Lysithea because of Broadleaf, so we can go ahead and do that. We do double, and we would have been able to survive the counterattack because she's running Blazing Light instead of what would be optimal, like Ruptured Sky or Glimmer or something. So we go ahead and kill that Lysithea. She's the Hardy Bearing user. And after the dagger debuff onto the Byleth, we are able to kill her as well.
I'll think about it.
Sure.
Bada bing bada boom, 84 damage. Easy. Now, there are no more rallies, there's no shenanigans. Crom just dies, so I imagine what will go first is either Crom or Duma will attack first, but yeah, they should just die. Healing Tower doesn't even reach Crom, so my Savage Blow does something for once. He is fully debuffed, or, you know, almost fully debuffed. I guess there's 4 points of extra damage potentially missing from attacking Speed Smoke, but I don't think that's really worth it. We also will have Miracle after 1 hit, so provided that we're not, you know, brought down to 1 HP in 1 hit, we'll have Miracle ready if anything goes wrong. But it shouldn't. We also have Tethys providing an extra 3 attack, just in case that matters. No longer supported with her, but 3 attack is 3 attack, so we're going to leave her there, I think. If I wanted to get her out of there, I could do a repo strat, but I honestly don't think it'll matter. I've done the calcs, and all of these guys should pretty much die right here, right now. So let's go ahead and end turn and watch Broadleaf Dagger do its thing. Let's go. Duma will, of course, do some pretty good damage as well. So yeah, here comes Crom, and we'll go ahead and one-shot him. Bada bing, bada boom. And from here, it's just, yeah. Dragon Effectiveness on Soth means Duma stands no chance. And everyone else should go ahead and die. Yep. Goodbye, Mira. and goodbye Ninian. And of course, as I said, pots don't matter because this is the last match of the week, so don't need to collect them. Usually I like to try and collect the pots, just to show how I would do it if it mattered, but in this particular match I just really don't care. I'd rather be done with it. So that is going to do it for Astra Season this week. A bit bumpy. I am down to 1 ladder, but Astra Season does that to you, and I think for using Lorenz most of the week, that's pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with his performance. One thing to consider for when he comes back is that when he's no longer a bonus unit, I don't have the option to run a Dancer and Corrin team. I'll pretty much either have to decide which one I want to use, or I would have to replace another one of my teams. If I was going to replace a team, I can't really even show you now because I don't have any Aether left, but if I was going to replace a team, it would be my Igren and Brave Micaiah team, because that team is very rarely used. It's pretty much anti-Cavline tech at this point. It doesn't really serve much of any other purpose. So if I was going to do that when Lorenz comes back, I would be replacing that team, so I could have one team with him and Corrin, and the other team with him and Tethys. That would be the ideal. But we will see about that when he comes back. Unfortunately, because he's not in the Grail shop yet, I'm going to be subbing Camilla back in for Team 1, so my CC Vantage Blade Tome Camilla is going to come back for a while. Don't know when he's going to come to the Grail shop, but even when he does come, I don't have enough Grails to plus 10 him off the bat. I think I've mentioned before, so it'll still be a bit longer after that point, and I also don't have 200,000 feathers, so yeah, he won't be back for a little while is what I'm saying, a few weeks, but when he does come back it'll be glorious. It will be glorious. Until then we'll have to just keep using Igren like we always have, but this week was a fun little detour and a fun little, I don't know what you would call it, a little teaser, I suppose, for the future. He's definitely interesting, and I will be bringing him back as soon as I can. And yeah, it's always fun to use your favorite units. There's no point in playing the game if you don't use the units that you care about. So that's how that's gonna go. Unfortunately, I don't have any more replays to show you because, as I alluded to at the end of the last video, this has been recorded like an hour or two after the end of that last one, so nothing new has come in yet. I am technically not immune right now, so there is room for one more person to come and fight my team. But I can't be knocked out of tier 27 no matter what. My place is secure. Pretty good standing this week. I lost 38 lift on defense, and we did lose 1 unit throughout the week, so that is 78 total, unless I get hit again and lose more lift. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So yeah, not a bad showing. It's funny that you I'm at the point where I'm losing more lift on offense than defense. I think that's pretty hilarious. But yeah, everything else is going well. I'm kind of rambling at this point, just trying to make sure I've covered everything I wanted to say, and I think I have, so that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys' Astra Week went well, hope you made it to where you wanted to be. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you maybe next week for Light Season, or maybe not, who knows. Sometimes Light Season just doesn't happen on this channel, apparently. Anyway, until then.